Peace and love, wonderful Black Hot Fire family. Welcome to the 54 Correspondence Show on the Black Hot Fire Network Media for the 21st century. My name is Spikes, and this is another broadcast where we get to discuss what's happening across the beautiful continent of Africa. In case you're joining us for the very first time, I would like also to urge you to visit our official website, which is www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. And once you are on the website, feel free to create your own profile on the network website. It will help you interact with the rest of the Black Hot Fire family once you are on there. We do have a new revamped site, and we also do have the social page. You can also engage with us on our social media, which is on Black Hot Fire Network /social. That is really, really wonderful that you are able to also get to share your opinions or share your mind without getting a lot of censorship, like we do have on all these other different social media platforms. We know them. We have seen people get kicked out of those platforms. We know about Twitter, where we did see Trump getting kicked out of Twitter. We also know platforms where there's a lot of censorship. But once you are on the Black Hot Fire Network, you will not really get censored as such. You are able to share your mind freely on the Black Hot Fire Network. So if you haven't checked that out, please make sure you do so by heading over to www.blackhotfirenetwork.com /social. That is the easiest way you can find us right there on the network. We also do have a wonderful website, a wonderful app, which you can download on Google Play Store. Just head over to your Play Store on your Android and search for the Black Fire Network app. You will be able to find us on the app, which has a white flame logo, like the one that you do see behind me. And you will be able to enjoy easy music, easy listening on the go as you go about your business. I understand, you might be going about your business either indoors or outdoors, but you can be able to listen to the music and some of the shows right there on the radio by using the app. It's very, very important that you get to download the app, and also that you get to visit our official website, which is www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. Hello, kid. How are you doing?
Hey, I see you put your Twitter feed up there on the social page. I was like, damn, how much Twitter shit on this thing?
It's not a lot. It's not a lot, but I also put up some pictures on there just to make sure that it's really also working well today. And it is only that the social tab hasn't been added.
The Twitter thing was neat. I know you could do that. I know you could put up all that Twitter stuff on there. I was like, damn. I mean, you got a whole Twitter feed up on this thing?
Yeah, it comes with a whole lot of all the posts. I think almost all the recent posts are posted on there as well. So anyone can see what has been happening on our Twitter for a minute. But I was just saying that
it was neat. It was neat. I know you could do that.
So I hope that you're doing well, and I want to welcome everyone to the broadcast. And I do know that being on a Thursday, we get to discuss around matters on what is happening across the beautiful continent of Africa, and today is no different. I want to take us all the way into Somalia. There is a video I happened to come across from Somalia, and it was really, really interesting. I had not seen this particular side of Somalia. In Somalia, you will find, there are many autonomous regions in Somalia, and these regions are self-governed. We do have Somaliland. We do have,
Yeah,
is it not?
because it's a failed state. So you try to say they try to set up certain regions that are safe and autonomous because the U.S. government went and destroyed it because obviously there's some resources in Somalia that they want, whether it be oil or whatever in the country that the European want. So they destabilize and implode the country.
I did happen to come across one of these places on in Somalia. I hope I'm able to share this video. It was from an Instagram story, but let me go ahead and share this so that you can see what is happening in Somalia behind the scenes, because people move around with their money with money around the streets. Let me share this. And they say no one will come blow you up. Even if you're carrying a heap of money, no one will come blow you up because the money is almost close to it's close to it doesn't really have that much value. And you can see a little bit of this. Let me show you.
No one will come and blow you up.
Small notes.
Yeah, this is it.
Hi. Greetings from Hargeisa city in Somaliland, one of the safest places in the world. You won't believe. You can walk with your cash in the streets. Even
Somaliland is very safe.
Nobody will snatch it away from you. And I want to tell you something interesting. Here, there is what they call open forex. Money being exchanged in the streets, and not just small notes, piles and piles of them. Walk with me.
You can see him carrying his heap of money. You can see him carrying his heap of money. I don't know, that might be like $2, but it's a whole heap of money in Somaliland. It might be like $2, but
exactly, Spike. It may be like it may be worth $1.50. That ain't $2.
That might be $2, but you can see him when he's going around. He's trying to get his money in Somaliland. The city is known as Hargeisa City in Somalia. And he says it's one of the most safest places. No one will snatch your phone or your.
It's very safe in Somaliland, Spike, and it's very safe in the Somali autonomous regions of Ethiopia. Which you looked up like a week or 2 weeks ago. It's very safe there too. But go ahead.
And play this.
Money being exchanged in the streets and not just small notes.
If I seen you guys there, your mama go crazy. Mama, I'm going
to
you're not going to no damn Somali, Spikes. You're not going.
They know all Somalia is bombs and everything, explosions are everywhere. But this is a little bit of another side of Somalia that people normally do not see. But the money is crazy. You can see how much is being exchanged for. Let me show you.
Walk with me. So it's prayer time now.
Oh, all that Arab shit.
Yeah, it's Allahu Akbar. It's Allahu Akbar. It's prayer time. It's prayer time at 1 p.m. So you have to listen to all the whole line. These are big notes of money. Let me hear how much I is trading for.
1 Kenyan shilling is equivalent to 7,000 Somaliland shilling.
And that's one Kenyan shilling. 1 Kenyan shilling is equivalent to 7,000 Somaliland.
Hey, we sit you up there, you might be rich.
Yeah, you become a baller and you're moving around with your money. You're the next big thing. You're the next big thing in Somalia.
Interesting. Okay. Let me change this. This is Kenyan money. Wow. Interesting. We don't use it. Finished. But this is the new one. Yeah. This is the new one. Correct. Yes.
That's the statement that goes that money's not even worth the paper. That money's not even worth the paper it's printed on.
Yeah, that's the whole point I was trying. That's the whole point. I also see it's very, very true, because you see They are printed in denominations of 1,000, 10,000, and all this. So one shilling, you assume 1 Kenyan shilling is 7,000 of them. So you would have, if you have to have like 500 Kenyan shillings, that would be times 7,000. That's a whole lot of money. You might not even be able to carry that money. That's 500 shillings, which is equivalent to $5.
Million Somaliland shillings,
Yeah.
which is equal to $150. $150. Ah, $150. Okay. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, this is more.
Yeah.
Nobody can carry all that. Nobody can carry all that shit.
This reminds me of Zimbabwe. You remember in Zimbabwe they had $1 trillion note. Yeah. And you could buy that for about maybe 70, I think maybe $70 or something. I don't know how much the $1 trillion note was going for, but it's crazy.
The science without no time, they go a long way and they go to their like.
The thing about Somaliland is you can leave your money there and come back for it in the morning. No one will touch that money. They know it's a whole luggage and it's just amounting to almost nothing. So you leave your luggage of money there, come back the next day.
Who's gonna carry all that worthless ass money around like that? You hit somebody in the head trying to rob them, carry all that shit. You say, how much is all this worth? It's worth $2. Oh shit.
Yeah, so you can leave it right here and come back for it the next day. No one will have moved it even 1 inch. No one will move it. But yeah,
like 10 minutes, 1 minute.
Yeah.
And they come back same like as they go before.
Pesa. And you see, the owner of this cash, after serving me, has left for prayers. He'll be away for about 10 minutes, and no one will dare touch the cash. It's all safe. And even me, this money I changed.
Boy,
I can walk around with it in the
streets. Heavy ass shit for $1.50 and $2.
Yeah, he went for prayers for about 20 minutes. So he will be back in the afternoon once he has come back from his prayers. And
nobody carried all this shit. He's like, man, what's all this worth? Man, they never worth $2 American. What? What? All that work carrying all this shit? That's right, $2.
I think,
damn.
Yeah. So even if you to go around with it placed on your head, no one will really look at you even twice. Or, no one will really be interested.
No one
that shit to McDonald's, you couldn't even buy a hamburger. How much is all the work? A hamburger costs like $5. You're like, how much is all this? $2. Get your ass out of here with all that shit.
It is. See? Yeah, nobody here. They've gone for prayers. How are you?
That was
funny. That's a little bit of Somaliland, and it reminds me.
I still want to send you guys the damn Ethiopia.
I think it might not be so different in Ethiopia. It might not be very, very different in Ethiopia. It might be very, very similar. The money might, I don't know, but I think that in Ethiopia, the currency.
I don't think currencies that no, their currency is not as bad as Somaliland. No,
their currency is known as.
I think Ethiopia's currency is comparable to Kenyan currency. I think it's about the same spikes.
Bill to Kenya shillings. So that will be one Ethiopian. Let me see. One Ethiopian is equals to 2 Kenya shillings. So it's just one Ethiopian is equals to 2 Kenya shillings. One Ethiopian bill equals to 2 Kenya shillings.
So it's close.
So if you have, it's very, very close. It's like 1 for 1. Only one Ethiopian is 2 shillings. It's almost very close, like 1 for 1.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah. I figured it being pretty close. Ethiopia is more developed than Somaliland, so I figured, yeah, it's pretty close.
Somaliland, no one will be taking your money. They will actually go out for lunch and leave it there. Like you just saw on that video,
Yeah,
so you know.
shit, you can't carry all that shit around, that heavy ass shit.
That is a problem. But nonetheless, I want to go into another different country, which is Libya. And in Libya, we have talked about the conflict in Libya, where we have seen the Russian mercenaries are being sent. I think we also have Israeli mercenaries there, and
Always
also.
got the Mossad. Isn't it funny? Always the Mossad. Always
Mm,
Israeli mercenaries. Isn't that always funny? South
mm,
Africa, the North Africa,
mm,
all parts of Africa,
mm,
Cameroon, always Israelis.
mm.
Isn't that always odd? One of the most racist motherfuckers on the planet, but they always in Africa.
Then and also we talked about the Central African Republic. There was also some mercenaries that were hired, and they were fighting against the militants in the Central African Republic. But most of them,
The militants,
they are contracted by the government. Some of them are contracted by the government. Others
of
are there to
course.
loot resources. Others are there to loot resources. So for Libya, the neighboring countries, which are Tunisia, the Tunisian the Tunisian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Migration and Tunisians Abroad has called for setting of a clear timeline for the withdrawal of foreign mercenaries and fighters from Libya, in the view of the serious threat not only to Libya and to its transition process, but also to the whole region. That is what he has called it, a threat. The minister pointed out that the security of Libya and its borders is also that of Tunisia, and that the stability of Libya will bring stability to Tunisia. And therefore, the neighboring, the minister for Tunisia has called on a clear deadline when all of these mercenaries should be kicked out of Libya, because most of them, some of them are sponsored by the Turks, others are sponsored by the Russians, and now some of them are they pay their allegiance to different functions of the fighting powers or the fighting functions in Libya, and therefore, instead of bringing a solution, what has happened is that they have extended or they have added
There's
more
no
costs.
solutions, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Libya is all rich, white people want it. Keep the stabilization in the country so we can keep stealing the resources. They're not there because Libya's a desert. What do I got there? Oh, they got oil. I want it. I want it. I want it. I'm gonna take it. That's why I'm there. I'm not there to do no peacekeeping. I'm not there to help nobody and all this other fraudulent shit. Man, to steal oil, get it, plunder, and do what I can do to get it. That's why they went to Libya. They ain't going to Libya to free nobody from Colonel Gaddafi, who's treating his people bad by giving them homes and giving them a nice lifestyle. We got to free you, no good Libyans, from living in nice homes and having your dollar comparable to an American dollar. We got to free you from all that terrorism.
Theirs is to continue. Theirs is to continue firing. Theirs is to continue really, increasing the problem. But let me share a little bit of a video right here so that you can see what has been happening briefly. Because of there has been Russian mercenaries, there is the Turks mercenaries, and all these are different kinds of mercenaries. So let me share these a little bit, and then we shall go back into the same, because the same has also been happening in Chad. Sorry, is it Chad or Central African Republic? I think either the Central African Republic or Chad.
Isn't it funny? You don't have African mercenaries in Russia. You don't have African mercenaries in Germany. You don't have African mercenaries in America. You don't have African mercenaries in China. You don't have African, but you have all these other fucking people in Africa. How odd is that?
Let me play this video a little bit so that you can see what is happening now with it. It has been exposed. The BBC did an expose on these.
Oh, not the BBC. What's their goddamn name?
هذه مملكة القناص الروسي. احنا متمركزين في نهاية الشارع عند الصدر. ايه رأيك في الروسيين اللي كانوا موجودين هنا؟ مرتبطة، يعني همهم النقود، جمع النقود. تمام. هذه يعني تعتبر من أعمالهم، يعني هذا شغل بيديروا فيه. يقتلوا في الناس مقابل ويرغبوا في الناس ويرتكبوا جرائم مقابل انهم ياخذوا مبلغ مالي.
These are guns for hire, and they are working in Libya. Even if they have not been sponsored by the Russians, they have their own interest. They are looking after making more money.
هيثم، تعرف أنا معي تابلت تم العثور عليه في أحد مواقع الفاغنر. هما يكونون اللون الأحمر، بينما
Yeah, I'm not even in favor of the Libya, the people they call Libya there now too. Those are invaders too. Those are all ancient African lands. I don't even give a fuck about Gaddafi and those Arabs. Those are stolen lands too. All that shit stolen from the Africans. So,
Yeah. The people were actually the people have actually taken over those lands and are taking the identity. They did take over the identity of the people that were there formerly.
exactly.
Taking over the
That's
identities.
That's all part of the old Moorish Empire. So I don't give a shit about none of those
Who are the Turks, right?
fake ass here.
The ones in Libya are the Turks, right?
Yeah, they're all Turks called reclassified as Arabs. They're Turks. Exactly right, Spike. From what you call that was the old Ottoman Turk Empire. And when they lost all losing power, they reclassified themselves as Arabs. The Arab culture is African. And I've always showed you that, that's a fact. But they reclassified themselves as Arabs to have title to North Africa as if they were always there when they are not. They are invaders. The Arab culture is African. It's a culture. It's not a people. To be Arab is an African culture. It was never a people. And they were black people who created the Arab culture, not these white Turks who now call themselves Arabs, which you see in goddamn Saudi Arabia, Egypt today, Libya, Algeria, Morocco. These are white Turks. These are Turkmen. Reclassified themselves as now Arabs. Instead, the Arabs have always been white people. All these lies, all these goddamn lies, and these people have completely come in and usurp African identity. Since the African's been made an idiot now, he's accepted these identities. Okay, these are Arabs. They're not fucking Arabs. The white Turks come out of Asia. They are invaders.
They are one and the same. I have seen Turkey also drawing its boundaries, really trying to say that they are not in Libya to escalate the war. They are in Libya to protect their own interest in Libya. And like I was saying earlier, they have not been a part of the solution. They have been a part of escalating the war because when there is war,
they want to rebuild their old empire. Remember that before when the Moors lost power, and later on the Europeans get it, then the Turks get that area, and then finally after World War I, the Turks fall. And they start breaking up the countries. Europe is now ascending into real power, and so they say, "Hey, you're gonna be now Arabs, and we'll let you. We'll start making these fake kingdoms. We'll make you good camel herding Turks kings if you give us oil. When you get the fake kingdom, the Saudi kingdom, these motherfuckers wasn't no kings. The cracker made them kings." It became Saudi Arabia. It was only Arabia. So it became the house of Saud. They said, okay, we get it. We'll make you fucking Turks kings and you'll be Arabs and shit. And okay. They set up these fiefdoms.
And also being in the desert, I do believe being in the desert, there was not a lot of resources. Even the water was a big problem for them if you do get to ask me. So I'm just wondering how they also now became to become these kings like you're saying, but this was just history being changed. And,
they were not kings. They were never kings. That was part of the Ottoman Turk Empire. Do it for Spikes. Go to Google and say images of the Ottoman Turk Empire. Let's say in the 1700s. Let's say images of the Ottoman Turk Empire in the 1700s or 16th century. In the 16th century. It's even parts of Russia, they controlled that too. What you call Ukraine today, the Ottomans owned that too. That was part of the empire all the way down into North Africa. So what we call parts of Russia was even controlled by the Turks.
These are the images. Let me share this. These are the images of the Ottoman Turk Empire in the 16th century that I do see here. For example, let me just open one.
See, so you see that whole part of Northern Africa and Saudi Arabia they control all the way up into Russia, parts of southern Russia. If you even go further back, it was even most of Russia too. But we just say 1600. You see, all they did when they start losing power, those people were still there. They just reclassified themselves from Turks to Arabs. They never left. It's just the empire collapsed. Those people stayed there because they had conquered those lands from African people. So the people just reclassified themselves from Turks to Arabs. But they're Turks. They're Turks.
I'm saying on this map, there are two maps here. Let me just open the map. The Ottoman Empire, which is marked in green. This is in 1680s. In the 1680s, one of the regions.
More land. It'd be more land. In the 1680s, it would be bigger. Yeah, if you go back to the 1680s, they had parts of Russia. You go past the Black Sea up to what you call Ukraine today. The Turks controlled all that. That was part of their empire. It wasn't Russia yet.
Yeah, I can see also most of these. This is written as in 1566. When the empire was also this big. I think they're also occupying. This is almost is this Egypt? Is this Egypt or
yes, I said Egypt. They occupied Egypt. Yes.
Yeah, Egypt and Libya as well.
I said Egypt, Libya, all the way over to Egypt, Libya, Algeria, and parts. Well, Morocco was still autonomous by itself because that was the Polish Moorish Empire. So you had still an autonomous region of Morocco, but so they didn't really have that. That still was like the last remnants of the Moorish Empire being kicked out of Europe. So that was still black until you get the French come in and dominate it completely later on. But
he said it. Yeah.
Go ahead, Spike.
No, they decided they were not going to leave that place. They wanted to continue, running it, and they had to change their own identity, check up the identity of the people, maybe originally from there, and run things on their own accord for their own interest. Because I do believe there were some resources which they still want to hold on to even.
Yeah, when the empire collapsed, the people don't go. They're the ones who conquered it. It's still there. They conquered the land, so it just means the empire collapsed. It doesn't have central control over those lands. The people's still there. So they say, okay, the Turkish Empire don't exist. Let's reclassify ourselves as Arab. That's what the white man came and did. Reclassified them as Arab. That's why he's like Arab. We're not no damn Arab. So yes, you are. It was the white Europeans told the white Turks in an Arab. We're going to reclassify you as Arab. So you have ancient. So that's them trying to be like they have title to the land. They say, "Oh yeah, we've always been here. We're Arabs."
People do know of these lies. People do know of these lies, and I think only the African doesn't know. The problem is only the African doesn't know. I think even people in Europe, everyone else in Europe knows. Right. But let me take us all the way into Egypt, because there has been a lot of lies also to do with Egypt because the culture was taken over. And there's a lady here who took her to her Instagram, and she put out the info right there. And she was saying some of the people who went into Egypt, they stole their culture and also stole the mummies. And this is what they did to the mummies. You can listen to this and hear what has been going on with this lady. Let me see if I'm able to get her audio.
Right.
What's going on with the
audio? I don't hear anything.
I'm trying to get to.
All right.
Share audio. Let me see if I'm able to.
All right.
Okay. This is it.
Mummify pretty much everybody because it was just how the culture dealt with their dead. So you would think, like, why don't they find mummies everywhere? Like, why is it when they find a mummy that it's like a huge deal? And that's because not that long ago, just within the last couple of centuries, actually, they used to find mummies everywhere to the point where they would just sell them in the flea markets to European tourists.
Exactly. Because it wasn't them.
And these tourists would buy the mummies.
She is talking about the mummies. She was saying that the people that were mummified, these were not really even what can I call them? The people that were mummified they could basically just even mummify anyone. It didn't have really to be a pharaoh or anyone of
no, that was the culture.
Yeah, the culture. So she is saying that some people have gone into, they could find mummified bodies everywhere. And what did happen is that the British tourists used to buy those mummies and go back with them in their own country, and they would eat them. They would eat the dead bodies of these Africans.
They're dead. Yeah. So you would think, like, why don't they find mummies everywhere? Like, why is it when they find a mummy that it's like a huge deal? And that's because not that long ago, just within the last couple of centuries, actually, they used to find mummies everywhere to the point where they would just sell them in the flea markets to European tourists, many of whom were British in particular. And these tourists would buy the mummies and take them home, and then they would eat them with their friends and families.
Yes, they would eat them.
Supposed to be a
delicacy. So she telling the truth. So when I said they eat African people, they eat slaves, that's what they done. These are facts. When I told you and Cameron that shit, you and Cameron's like, no. I said, yes. You don't know what kind of wicked people you dealing with. They would eat us.
But these were dead bodies of people that have been mummified for many years.
So what?
They buy them. How are you eating those thinking? I don't know. Those bodies of, you might try and make sense of some things that have been done.
Because you're dealing with a beast, Mike. You're dealing with a beast. That's why.
So you go serve them as a delicacy. They will go serve them as a delicacy in the evening when they were having their meal.
And guess what? And that's your guy. That's what the Kenyans running behind, talking about it's Jesus.
I think sometimes people are even beyond our saving. Sometimes you might tell the African. But like I was saying, it's unfathomable. That is why you might tell someone a story like this. It's a fact, but it's unfathomable in the mind of the African. So you tell him, how would the people go buy the mummies and putting them on their kitchen and serving them?
They cook them and eat them. I said the African can't fathom this kind of evil. The African doesn't know this kind of, he can't fathom it. So he has cognitive dissonance. He can't fathom this kind of evil, Spikes.
Yeah, because if I had a couple of my friends and tell them what used to happen with the mummies, they'll be like, you're crazy. It's not in the frame of reference. They have no frame of reference. They have no frame of reference because they have not seen anything like that. So because Spikes has a loose mouth.
Exactly. Spikes is crazy. Exactly right. And that's what happens. And that's what sounds of Dr. Mumby. That's what's imagined. Now, Joby's waking up and you woke up and you're around a bunch of sleepwalking African Spikes. How do you maneuver in a group of sleepwalking African Spikes? Because now you're the oddball. You tell them that. They say, oh, you're crazy, Spike. When they're the crazy ones, because this is factual. They're the ones that's crazy. And you
So it's the same thing happening right now. Even if you were to wake up Africans and tell them what is happening with this job, people will look at you crazy. Why would the white man want to do that? Why would he want? This is the fact. This is what is happening, but it's unfathomable to the African. So
That's
that is
what
a
Dr.
problem.
Mumby said. That's what Dr. Mumby said. You just, it's the real ignorance. You tell the African he doesn't know what's going on the planet. It's crazy. The ignorance is crazy.
Unfathomable. It's unfathomable.
You're right, Spikes. I told you that. I said the
Just
ignorance.
like you were saying. Yeah.
Go
Just
ahead,
like
Spikes,
you
go
were
ahead.
saying with the babies in Louisiana that were being used as a bait for alligators. If you tell an African, that the thing used to happen in Louisiana, they used to use the babies to go and catch the alligators or as bait for the alligators. The people would just shake their head and say that's crazy. It's not possible. But that is exactly so you cannot save someone. You cannot save someone from. It's like you see the way we do have couples. We do have couples who have, for example, they have problems, and you tell one couple that this individual has done something else out there, and this woman believes that the husband cannot do any wrong because she truly loves the husband, and you come up to the same house and tell them your husband has been involved in a murder and killed 2 people outside there. The woman will be like, no, my husband is so loving, he cannot do that. You must have the wrong guy. That is the same thing happening with the African. Tell the African what is happening with the Mzungu out there. They will be like, no, you might have gone the wrong Mzungu. But anyhow, let me take us all the way to because the Nigerians.
It's crazy. Like Joey says, you should have read about the jab. Like you said about the jab. It's like, no, why would they do this? Because they're evil, stupid. Why do you think they came in like Joey said? No. Was that there? Joey said they came into Africa to help us. But what? They came to the white people came to Africa because they came to help African people. What are you talking about? There were wars in Africa. What are you talking about?
If you tell the African, the same cracker wiped out the West Indians in some parts, and also the what do we call them? These are people that were wiped up in Australia. The African will not believe.
Australia, also Tasmania.
Tasmania. The African will not believe it, and this is a fact. But now, I think it's the cognitive dissonance. Let me just call it that. So in Nigeria, they are set to launch cryptocurrency in this country, which is also known as eNAIRA. The Central Bank of Nigeria is said to be working with the Bitt Inc. Incorporated, a Barbados-based fintech company, financial technology company, as a technical partner to help it launch Nigeria's digital currency, the eNAIRA. It is a form of digital currency that allows exchange between people online. The central bank's governor, Godwin Emefiele, said that eNAIRA will operate as a wallet against which customers can hold existing funds.
If it's part of a central bank, is not the Central Bank of Nigeria is owned by the Rothschilds. It's baloney then, and it's fraudulent.
You remember El Salvador was almost recently launched their digital currency. It did not work out because the IMF told them to hell with that.
Not to deal with it, and the Nigerians got rid of real cryptocurrency. Anything coming from a central bank, Spikes, it's all owned by the Rothschilds. So it is fraudulent and it's control-based money. So it's nonsensical. Because the real cryptocurrency that wasn't controlled by the Rothschilds, the damn Nigerians, you go look it up, suspended it. Say we're not going to allow it to be used in Africa. It promotes terrorism and all other kind of dumb shit. They only did that because they can't control it, because it wasn't in the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers' hand. And anything said a central bank, you run away from that shit. It's controlled. Go ahead, Spike.
No, I'm saying, and El Salvador was looking for the World Bank to help them set up their Bitcoin, and
there you go. Then you already know this bullshit. We already looked at that. The World Bank is owned by what? The Rothschilds, Rockefellers. The IMF owned by the Rothschilds, Rockefellers. The American Central Bank, the Federal Bank Reserve, owned by the same people. The English one owned by the same people, Frank. The French one owned by the same people, Spike. The Italian one owned by the same people, Spike. The German one owned by the same people. The Chinese one owned by the same people.
So I guess.
So we already know the story is bullshit, Spikes.
I bet the only people that might be.
Go ahead.
The only people that would be able to set up their own crypto without the interference with the World Bank or the IMF would be Vatican. I bet the Vatican might be able to push their own because they are outside. They have some
The whole thing is the whole thing is to keep control. So we know that they did it. They had go back and pull up this spikes. What was the cryptocurrency that Nigeria banned? Pull that up. And you'll see it was because the Rothschilds said no, nigga, no. We don't got control of that one. So what was the name of the cryptocurrency that Nigeria just banned? Because it wasn't based on a central bank.
But I was saying, sometimes back you were talking about this crypto, and you were saying these would present an opportunity for Africa to be independent. If you were to have,
but it can't be through a central bank, Spikes. It can't be through a bank that the Europeans control. It's got to be unchained. It can't be from a central bank, Spikes. They did, but they tried to ban it. So what was the one, Spikes, that the Nigerians banned? It's got to be one that they do not control, Spikes. Yes, it would be a way, but that's why they're trying to stop it and make their own. Oh, we're now going to do one through the IMF and the World Bank. Then that's being controlled by the Rothschild.
Let me just get to understand a little bit more about this, because I do see there was this article which was saying out of control and rising why Bitcoin has Nigeria government in panic.
Bitcoin, exactly. It was Bitcoin.
It was Bitcoin. Yeah, it was a Bitcoin that was really being banned, and this is a little bit of the same that was going on.
Exactly, because Bitcoin was not controlled by the Rothschild. It was controlled by the Central Bank of Nigeria. It was controlled by the Central Bank of Kenya. It was all controlled by the Rothschild.
Let me play a little bit of this to see what was going on with the Bitcoin.
Only woke up overnight and decided to shut everything down overnight, but that's not the case. What's up, guys? It's Sarah here, and the Central Bank of Nigeria put out a letter stating that all banks in Nigeria that have anything to do with cryptocurrency should stop whatever it is that they are doing with them, and no transaction involving cryptocurrency should occur. In this video, I'll be analyzing the letter that they sent, the previous 2017 letter sent by the CBN, the stance of the Security and Exchange Commission, the SEC, general thoughts and predictions of how this might turn out, and I'll also leave timestamps in the video description so you can skip ahead to any section of this whole video that you need quick information about. But before we begin, make sure to tap that like button so more people can see this analysis. And of course, without further ado, let's get to the video.
You understand, this has nothing to do with the Central Bank of Nigeria. These are the Rothschilds telling you niggas, you put an end to that currency now.
Yes, but I was saying this would present an opportunity if at all Africa was able to.
It would, Spike. It would.
Yeah.
It would get you independent. It would get you independent, Spike. Yes, you're right. But that's why they would shut it down.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah.
Second largest user of digital currencies, trading more than 60,000 Bitcoin since 2000. Nigeria is the world's second largest user of digital currencies, trading more than 60,000 Bitcoin since 2015, which is almost the world's second largest.
Yeah, I think Nigeria has its foot on this, because if it's the second largest in the world,
exactly,
it means that
that raised the eyebrows, Spike, of the Rothschilds. Whoa, hold on. If this goes completely African, we'll lose control of Africa. Africa will sneakily become free, and we'll lose control. So a thing will sit down to Buhari, nigga, you better goddamn stop this Bitcoin now, nigga. We'll murder you and your whole motherfucking family. You better put an end to this shit now, nigga. Oh, now all of a sudden, Nigeria says no to Bitcoin. It's because it might promote terrorists and shit. How these terrorists getting Bitcoin, wacko? Yeah. You know it doesn't, but that's the terrorists are going to take the Bitcoin. What?
If you're getting your money, you become a terrorist. Let me hear from her again.
Nigeria is the world's second largest user of digital currencies, trading more than 60,000 Bitcoin since 2015, which is almost $3 billion. But the country's central bank has told financial institutions to stop dealing in or facilitating payment for cryptocurrency exchange. Before we go on, let's clarify.
I didn't know it got that big, Spikes. That was a danger. That was a danger. I know it was the second leader. So you imagine, man, if this would have went throughout Africa, see, they knew this is dangerous. Because Nigeria being the second, that would have went throughout Africa. It's Nigeria having the biggest economy in Africa. Oh my God, that would have been way back. They knew. These niggas are trying to get free on the sneak level. Hell no. Nope. Hell no.
It's about $3 billion dollars that was being traded by these Nigerians. But let me hear more.
Their transactions are stored in a database called blockchain, which is a group of connected computers that record transactions in real time.
It's decentralized. There's no central bank.
Media, with people saying the clampdown may simply force Nigerians to use dollars when trading in cryptocurrency. Before now,
that was made to do. That's what they do.
Account. We've seen people run into Ghana to open bank account just to be able to transact cryptocurrency. So if you have an account in some other country or with some other currency, you can't still trade in cryptocurrency.
Despite the backlash, Nigeria's central bank appears to have doubled down, stating that the banking restrictions on crypto companies were nothing new, and insisting that the cryptocurrencies pose a risk to individuals and the country's financial systems because
it doesn't. Whose financial system is that? Oh, it's the Rothschilds and Rockefellers. Who's financial? It poses a threat. Of course it does. It poses a threat to the Rothschilds stealing money from African people. Of course it does. Of course it does. Of course it does. So now we're going to, now, look, Nigeria's introduced a new cryptocurrency to a central bank. Huh? I said it causes terrorism and it's bad. No, it's only bad if the central bank doesn't control it. Now it's good because it's going to be through a central bank, Spikes. You see the scam, Spikes?
No, I do see the scam right now. You have actually exposed the scam. That is exactly what is happening because the other one was not controlled by the central bank, and they knew
exactly
that they will cut the world bankers out of the equation.
Exactly,
so they want
Spikes.
shut it down and make sure you bring it through the central bank so that you can have a control of that.
Exactly.
Nigerians have been played. This one is a betrayal. The Nigerians have been played with this one because now you cannot do as much as you would like to do without the central.
Yes, you will become free of the Rothschild scam. Exactly, Spikes. Now you get it. Now you see, you're waking up. You understand it that simply. Exactly, Spikes. Exactly.
That is what they are doing.
And the country's financial systems, because they're issued by unknown, unregulated entities.
Unknown, unregulated. It's not working by the World Bank and the central banking. It's unknown and unregulated. It could cause terrorism.
Yeah. Well, we already did find out that the banking, what we call the system that is owned by the 8 families, these are the bank, the Federal Reserve, the Federal
Reserve. They own the Federal Reserve. They own the IMF. They own the World Bank. They own it all.
The Federal Reserve is not unknown and unregulated. That is why they want the money going through their hands.
Exactly. Exactly. So they get their cut. Exactly. That's how they get money, Spikes, for doing absolutely nothing. That's why they're the richest people on the planet. They get a cut of everybody's money because they got control of everybody's money, and they get a cut of it for nothing. So they said crypto was bad, but now it's good because now the central bank is now creating it, Spikes. Now it's good.
Yeah. Now that is a scam. That is a total scam. But I don't think Nigerians will even realize it. The Nigerians might even not see what's happening. I almost missed that as well.
For criminal activities, like they said in the name.
So criminal activity.
I mean, people use nairas for criminal activities also. I mean, all the kidnappers that be kidnapping people all over, you will say that will get these people pissed off.
As the use and interest in digital money has grown in popularity, a number of African countries have chosen to place restrictions on them.
That's why you always got to look with a third eye. So what's going on? You always got to know that you've been lied to. It's always to keep Africans under control. Don't think that these things are good. If anybody say yay to it, it's fucked up. Because the whole thing is make sure I keep stealing from African people. They had cryptocurrency, the second largest exchange in the world, Spikes. That means it was huge in making money, but it wasn't making money for the Rothschild. It wasn't making money for the Rockefellers. It was huge, and since it was intricate, that means Nigeria could develop that around the continent, and that would have slowly breed. And you're right, it would have been good. It was slowly freed Africa, and they knew it. That was it. Whoa. Hey, get on the phone to this Bakari nigga. If you don't start it, put an end to this shit, we'll put a bullet in your head, nigga.
This is where these are other countries where the use of the crypto has also been restricted. We have Nigeria, we have Zambia, we have Zimbabwe, and we have Ghana. These are the countries.
You know why? Because that's out of Rothschild's hands. So you come back with a new crypto. Hey, we got crypto sponsored by the Central Bank of Zimbabwe, owned by the Rothschilds. We got the new one for Kenya, the Central Bank of Kenya, owned by the Rothschilds. Now it's authorized cryptocurrency, niggas. Use your cryptocurrency.
No one should trust the government on that the system with the central bank. But exactly. I was saying that I wish in Africa we also did have a havens where I cannot call them tax havens, but like you see with the Canary, is it called the Canary Islands in Europe? They are like the Canary Islands, put their money out and put them without a lot of people, without a lot of information being required.
And also Switzerland. And also in Switzerland.
And Switzerland as well. So if we did have one country that would actually allow itself to be used such way, and people put in their wealth in that country in Africa, and they make sure that there is not a lot of corruption going on in that country, then it would be able also to catapult other countries into a bit of a financial freedom around the continent. I think that would also
never do it, Spikes, because the countries are controlled. You don't got no country in Africa that's not controlled.
That's a problem.
Bound to have a significant impact, not just on Nigerians, but on the financial technology space as a whole.
I think some of the implications of this particular restriction would be, you'll see.
Towards the end of 2020, Nigeria's Securities and Exchange Commission announced plans to regulate digital assets, classifying crypto assets as securities.
You gotta stop this Bitcoin because Al-Shabaab could get a hold of it. Al-Shabaab is out there in the wilderness with computers and shit, doing cryptocurrency exchange. Yes, they are. Al-Shabaab and Al-Qaeda and ISIS and all of them. What?
They're busy in the jungle. Their Wi-Fi is top-notch in the jungle, so they can just use their Wi-Fi in the jungle.
That's right. They're using Wi-Fi on the jungles of Africa with their crypto.
And this is with them. Kim Green, I thank you so much for joining us. You say now they stopped his idea. They were against cryptocurrency being used without having the central bank run it. Now they are introducing it through the central bank, and this is also another scam into having the World Bank as have their control over these crypto. That is what I keep.
The reason why they created cryptocurrency spikes was to get away from the central bank control. That's why they were creating it, to get away from the central bank and the Rothschilds and Rockefellers control.
They have been returned to square one. It's making around. It's not being returned. They have gone back to the same circle that they started, the same square that they started that. Now that it has been introduced through the central bank, it means that you're moving from you're trying to free yourself. Only for you to be returned back to the same.
Return back in the same enslavement. Exactly right. And that's when you're supposed to say no. Because if you turn to that shit, now they're gonna be able to cut you off when you don't do what? When you don't adhere to the government and you part of their digital currency. Africa, that's a no. You say no to that Nigerian shit, because now they can cut you off if you say, well, if you make one bad statement against the government or the Rothschild, your money's now cut off.
But
now you don't got no physical. Now you don't got no physical money to use. That's right. You're starved.
I think that the Nigerians are slick. They are wise. They might still find a way of going around this whole situation. But let me play these as well.
Now let's talk cryptocurrency. If you're young and tech savvy, you most certainly will have heard of cryptocurrency, a digital means of exchange that some claim is the future of money. Already it is playing big in China, Canada, Nigeria, and other countries. While some are already trading in this currency, the Central Bank of Nigeria warns that it has no legal backing and could be used to finance terrorism, drugs, and even launder money. So it is banned in Nigeria. This has generated a lot of bullshit. And in this explainer, I break down
what?
About the ban.
They're buying
Al-Shabaab and
Boko
Haram
and the Nigerian economy.
Boko Haram is exchanging in this currency.
We all lost.
What? How's Boko Haram exchanging this currency? Most people in Africa don't got the internet. What the fuck are you talking about? We know it don't make no sense, but so what? That's what we're saying.
Nigerians don't need the Wi-Fi. They have their voodoo.
Stacked up in our safe or literally in our hands. We like to pay in cash, swipe our cards, and do things the traditional way. But traditional is one thing, cryptocurrency is another.
So, God, your wig looks terrible, lady.
Currencies are often referred to as digital money. Transactions in this currency are stored up real time using the blockchain technology. While it's virtual in nature, it's a lot more than that.
It's a digital currency that was built to function as cash online.
Now, cash or money, as many of us know, has evolved over the years. One time it was commodity money, where we exchanged goods by barter. We moved to metallic money, the era of gold and silver, and from there to paper money, what many of us call the fiat currency. Now we are at that point where many use electronic money. You swipe the card and buy the goods. Now, it's important to note that all of these forms of money check some boxes. It can perform things I call money goals. But financial experts say cryptocurrency also checks these boxes.
Is this solving problem of inflation? I think it is. Is it acting as I need?
I think the Somali people should borrow a leaf from Nigeria. All that money in the streets is not helping. They should try to put their money also in crypto. As well.
It can't be a central bank. If they put, listen here, Mike. If Somali was smart enough to set up we start doing Bitcoin, they're gonna get invaded. There's terrorism in this shit. What is terrorism at? And they're going to blow up all the computing power in smaller. Yes, we had to get rid of the terrorists. The terrorists. But what? We don't got no terrorists. Oh well, we told you you're dead.
You can see people moving very, very peacefully in Somaliland. I did not see any explosion around when the guy
was no terrorists, but if they get out the central banking scam system, they're gonna be marked for death. You gotta understand how these ruthless ass people think, Spikes. You're talking about criminal psychopaths that run the planet, Spikes. I can't tell you the kind of evil you're dealing with. We're talking about another evil that you can't fathom.
True. It's unfathomable because the African has not seen such. But I think maybe the African forgets too quick. You remember with the Belgian, Leopold? King Leopold used to cut off babies' hands. The African had not even seen that earlier on. So the African was even having a difficult time, processing the killings that were taking place of millions of children in the Congo by King Leopold, and also having their soldiers being carried on the backs of women, the African women. They used to have carriers. They used to have their own carriers, but they would prefer, riding on the backs of African women. I have seen some images and I showed some of those.
Yeah, that wasn't just in the Congo. That's right over in Uganda and Kenya. That was all parts of Africa. These wicked bastards did that.
And that
wasn't just in the Congo.
I think the African has not come out of a grief. I think the African is still in a grief period.
I do believe that, Spikes. I do believe that. The African hasn't dealt with the humiliation properly. He's been humiliated as a people. We've been humiliated, and our response has been has not been correct. As a people, you don't take humiliation and love the people who have humiliated you.
True. You level up, and you also, you don't get mad. You get even. You do not
exactly.
You not get a griefing, you just also level up and get even. But that is not the response that the African has shown in this whole deal. The African has been really. But yesterday we were talking, I was sharing the video by Dr. Henry Crack, and he was saying that the African are slowly getting back to, having some sense of a pride with themselves, because you have to go from that grief, then go to a sense of pride with yourself, then from there start building up, because the African is still somewhere under grief with, and also not responding correctly even after all this. So
his behavior is inappropriate. African behavior is inappropriate. Even I was stunned about that Jesus shit in Kenya. That blew my. I was like, what? What the fuck?
I was just saying that the back breaking of the African was so deep that even getting the ego back will take so many years. I think it has taken, the psychological trauma is difficult to get through. So getting back the ego and having the African man now stand up and getting even, it's a bit difficult.
Exactly, they did exactly right, Mike. That's a good analogy. You're right.
Yeah, the back breaking was so deep, and the African had not seen such kind of an evil. So he's trying to get into get to reconcile.
I agree
with what was happening. But nonetheless, it was wonderful. Just can share with you what is happening across the continent of Africa. I wish that Nigerians were not to be duped into believing that the central bank will do anything right by them. The central bank will not do anything right by the Nigerians. They will just continue to put them in enslavement. So if the Nigerians are able to go forward, and continue trading with the crypto and also proliferate the same concept.
You got to overthrow the government, Spikes.
Around the continent of
revolution.
Africa, that would be a good way to go. What is not doing anything for the people. So I think it's also upon the matters that the Nigerians to also come together. You remember when there was some stealing of the ransom that was paid by Colony. It's called Colony. What do you call that company? Colony Pipeline. They were saying they paid the currency in Bitcoin, and then some days later they came back and said, "Oh, we have gotten back the Bitcoin. They had kept it and we went and took it back." That was some nonsense. But Nigeria seems to be knowing what they are doing. It seems like they have an idea of what they are doing. If they have been able to move 3 billion, then they have an idea.
They know what they were doing. They were getting free of European domination, and that's a no-no. Why the European came in, called Bahar, he said, "Hey, nigga, hey, Papa Slow, hey."
Yeah. Baba Slow
you better put an end to this shit now. And oh, this thing supports terrorism. We got to get rid of Bitcoin. It's terrible. And there's but now the Central Bank of Nigeria has got a new cryptocurrency. Yeah. I thought you said it's bad. It's only bad if we don't control it. That's why.
They will demonize everything that they do not control until they control it.
That's exactly right, Spike. Hey, so I'm losing.
The operators, as Mondas operators, that is how they operate. They will just. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether you can hear me, but
I hear Spike. I'm in a bad area. So what's to stop these terrorists from using the central banking Bitcoin from doing terrorist acts then?
That's critical thinking, but the Nigerian will not ask themselves that. That's critical thinking, but the Nigerian will not ask themselves that. So like I said, yes, it has been wonderful just again to discuss what is happening. I hope this video finds a couple of Nigerians who are also involved with these crypto, because we have deciphered it for them, and this is where they find the solution on the Africa Today show. We have told them what is happening. I will try to share it around so that the Nigerians can also find out the truth.
Well, I think a bunch of them know. They know that how the hell they're gonna stop crypto Bitcoin and now try to introduce us with their fucked up ass digital currency. What the hell? You said it's bad and it's evil and all that old shit. Now you're gonna introduce yours to a central bank. Now, as long as it's come from a central bank, it's good and it's right. Everybody should get now involved in it.
I think also El Salvador should say fuck it and continue with their currency. They should El Salvador should also say, damn, to hell with you. Let us continue with our currency, because this is what
they're going to overthrow. Like I said, revolutions have to come to Africa. These puppet countries, these puppet leaders are going to have to be taken out and murdered, executed. They're going to have to take out. They're going to take them out and they'll be overthrown. That's what's coming. That's what. Dr. Mummy got that right. That's why it's the thing going on the planet, because they're trying to get ahead of the wake up that's happening at the same time in real time. The African is waking up. It's going to wake up, waking up. And they're trying to put the end to it why the wake up is going on. I'm trying to do you know what to them why they wake up. We go Spikes. What?
That is exactly what is happening. The Nigerians are really also not careful. We shall find out almost all those are shots being taken there. And it's going to be crazy. Nonetheless, thank you so much to everyone that has joined us on the broadcast. I hope this also gets to a couple of Nigerians, if not all of them. And they can also waken up with these discussion that we are having.
Right? To answer your question, hey, what about when you go by the speakers? Do the speakers have stands on it, Spikes? Do they come with a stand?
They don't come with a stand. They don't come with a stand. But someone can ask for there are some stands I saw, but they are separate. They do not really come with a stand. The speakers are just in boxes.
We got to buy stands for them. It's too big. We got to buy stands. So tell me how much are the stands? So I send the money with the stands.
I'll send you that info right after the show. But thank you so much, everyone who has been with us on the broadcast. It's always a delight. We hope to catch you next time.
Thanks for joining us, Kim. We don't know who you are. Welcome to the family.
Sorry, what?
I said, Kim, we don't know who you are. Welcome to the family. Kim Green,
okay,
I never.
Yeah,
I think she's new.
Yeah, but you are much welcome to the family. Make sure you also join us on the Africa Today show later this evening. That would be about 12:30 in the noon Eastern time.
Are you guys doing the Daily Show or whatever it's called?
Yes, we're doing a Rhythm Scoop show right after this as well.
Yeah, your Rhythm Scoop show. I'll try to call in, set up the phone. What's up, man?